My friends are going to these summer camps. So why can some people experience these things when others can't? And from a very young age, I also knew that in life, I saw things more as experience, as the goal, rather than just material things. So you won't see me wearing a brand new Rolex or driving a Lamborghini and posing with, 5 different sports cars, because that's never what I wanted. I just wanted to be able to have more yeses in my life. And I did get really lucky because one of my uncles is a business owner. And again, going to his house from a very young age, I realized that he had a bigger house. So it was more materialistic, yeah, but I just saw that he lived differently. He also would go on vacations to Hawaii and to Europe, and I just saw this different, view, this different lens into the world. And I remember I was probably 5, 6, 7 years old. I just straight up asked him one Christmas. I was like, "Hey, Uncle Chris, I see you have all these things. Like, why do you have this and we, meaning my family, don't?" And he said to me something so simple. It was just that he said, "Anton, when I was young, I was about 30 years old. I took a chance on myself. I left my job. I went into business, and because I succeeded, I now have these options. I have this freedom." And I remember thinking at whatever age I was, I thought, you know what, I'm going to be an entrepreneur. So always knew I was going to, but didn't really know what I was going to do, because I am not an intelligent, I'm doing air quotes here, person. I was a C student, never really excelled in anything besides working hard at different jobs. And I thought, well, what can I do with that? Well, when I was younger, I worked a lot of odd jobs. I did construction, carpentry, landscaping, and I was able to save up about $25,000 by the time I graduated from college in 2006. So 25K in the bank, again, from doing odd jobs throughout high school and college. And what I did back then was think, what business can I buy that can get my foot in the door, that can get me started on this path to entrepreneurship? And I basically went online and I Googled businesses for sale. I came across a website that looks just like what you see on screen right now, which was listing delivery routes for different companies. And if you haven't heard of this business model before, basically you buy the rights to a territory, kind of like a franchise, and what you get is the ability to sell 4 different brands in that territory. So what I did, huge mistake, don't do this, I went to one of these websites and I sorted the businesses for sale by price from lowest to highest, because again, I did not have much money when it comes to what these things typically sell for. And the cheapest business I could find back then was a delivery route for a bakery in Brooklyn in New York that was $25,000. So I immediately called the company. I thought, this is great, I can buy this business, I can have something real, I can build it up, and then I can flip it. So that was my plan. Work in this thing for about a year, double the size of it, maybe sell it for 50K, take that money, buy something else, build it up, flip it, and just do that for the next 20, 30, 40 years until I was wealthy, and then I can start experiencing things, right? That was really my goal. Now, this turned out to be a terrible investment. Like I said, when you buy a cheap business, what you typically get is a lot of headaches. But I realized that after I started running this for really not long, probably the first few weeks I had it, but I didn't have an out, right? I couldn't just go and sell it again. I couldn't just give up because I would look like a failure to myself, to my parents, to my friends, to my uncle. So I thought, what can I possibly do? And my option was have another income. So I was working this during the day, an 8-hour day, going around trying to build up this route. And then I would work like 3 or 4 hours doing construction and carpentry. And I remember one day after doing this 8-hour day of selling cookies and this 3-hour day of doing carpentry, I was hanging out with one of my buddies after work that I worked with, and he told me, "Hey, Anton, did you hear about this new book?" And this new book was called The 4-Hour Workweek. And I said, "I have no idea what you're talking about. I thought this thing sounds like a scam." And he just kept going on and on and on about it. He's like, "You got to read this book. It's great. It's, I'm going to follow everything it says." And he kind of insisted, like almost, he gave me his copy and he was like, "No, you got to read it." So I took the book, even though I thought it sounded like totally overhyped, because 4-Hour Workweek, again, I'm thinking I'll work 80 hours a week to build something real. But you know what? I read that book, I took a chance, and it gave me an idea. So in the book, there was a chapter, like literally one chapter, I should look, but it's probably like 15 pages, about e-commerce, selling physical products online. And then there was another chapter on Google AdWords, which is basically how to send visitors to your website. But the main things I took away from this book is that the total startup costs were only around $100. And I also learned that you didn't need to hire some technical wizard to build an online store. So what I did is spend the next weekend in my local library, brought my laptop in there, just went to Focus, and I built my first ever website that was selling those exact cookies that I was getting from that bakery in Brooklyn. And within a few days, I had people that were actually buying from my online store that found me through those ads I set up on Google. And within a few weeks of running this new website, I was making more money than I was from the delivery route that I invested $25,000 in. So this just blew my mind, and it opened my eyes to what e-commerce actually is and what the opportunity was that was in front of me. And this is actually funny. I was looking, as I was putting this presentation together, I was trying to find photos of my store and my first order, but I couldn't because I sold that business a few months after I started it, and the new owner has access to all the dashboards and whatnot. But I did find from my eBay store one of our first sales. This was from January 31st, 2008, and you can see here I sold gourmet Italian cookies, 1 pound of black and white minis for $3.99, right? Gonna be rich. But the funny thing is, right, that with this order, I made almost $2.50, and I know that sounds like nothing, but I was making about $2.50 for every big box that I sold into actual stores through the route. So with this one, I was sitting on my computer. With the other one, I was sitting in traffic in Brooklyn. So this was a huge win. It was a great start. But as this worked, as more orders came in, I thought, this is working, let me scale it, right? I need to focus on growth, because the problem was, even though it was making me money, it wasn't making me the money that I wanted. I wanted to be able to travel with my family and friends. I wanted to say no a lot less, and I wanted to live this, business owner lifestyle as I saw it. So my plan was to focus on growing this thing. The first way I did that was I got more traffic. So instead of just advertising on Google, I started to advertise on all different websites, and guess what? I got more traffic and I got more sales. And then another way I focused on growth was to list more products. So instead of just selling these cookies I had access to, I started selling all different breads from New York bakeries and things like New York cheesecakes and Linzer tarts. I expanded my product offering, and guess what happened? I got more sales and it made more money. But the thing that I learned the hard way when I focused too much on growth is a very important lesson that changed my life forever, and I really want you to take this in, is that the business did not align with my goals, and just because you can build a profitable business does not mean it's the right business for you. So what happened with me is, by the time our first holiday season rolled around, right, the first Black Friday and Cyber Monday and Christmas, when I had this business cam, we started to get a ton of orders. Instead of just people ordering a box of cookies for themselves, they were placing corporate orders for 20 different gift boxes. Some people were even buying 100 different items at once to give out at different parties that they were having at work. And things got so busy with this business that my friends and my family, I actually had coming over to help me make sure that we can keep up with the business and not deliver products. So what I realized at this point was, now it's Christmas, right? I want things to be fun. I want them to be free. I want to be enjoying the fact I'm a business owner. I want to be able to have my friends and family have better experiences. But instead, I had my friends and my family spending their holidays with me, making sure that the business didn't collapse on itself because we weren't delivering products. So I realized right after we passed through the holiday that even though there was a ton of orders coming in, I was not making enough money to get to my ultimate goal. This business did not align with it. And I could just show you really clearly here with numbers on how that works out. But at that point, my target monthly income, like net profit, was $30,000 a month. That's what I thought I needed to be able to have what I want and experience what I want. Now, with the products, the cookies, my average sale price was $10, and my average net profit was about 30%. That means that my profit per sale, again, net profit, was about $3. So the amount of units I would need to sell monthly to make $30,000 is $10,000. Now, I don't know if you've ever been in sales or customer service, but selling $10,000 of anything in a month is crazy. Between phone calls and emails and shipping problems, just customer service, it's just not worth it. Again, for me. But this is what's so important. You need to think about what is worth it for you and what you really want out of business. Because after I read that book, after I got my mind in this place that I could build a business that just grows and only takes a few hours a day to manage, my goal was build this thing, set up a team, be able to work from anywhere in the world on my laptop. But instead, what I got was pallets of boxes being delivered from USPS. And again, friends and family helping me load these things up to make sure customers were happy. So I was forced with a really hard decision of what do I want to do moving forward. And at first, my thought was, you know what, I'm just going to sell this and I'm going to go back to something more basic. I'm going to open a franchise. I was thinking of even opening like Subway sandwich stores, right? This is how burnt out I was on this. But what I did was go back to the library with my laptop. I sat there, I opened up my computer, and I made a list of what I really wanted out of my business. And again, I encourage you to do the same. But what I came up with was more freedom. I wanted the freedom to set my own hours. I wanted the freedom to work from anywhere in the world. And I also wanted more money. Okay, again, I wanted at that point $30,000 a month. I wanted more money so I can travel with my family and friends. I wanted more money so I can take in new experiences without double checking my bank account balance. And I wanted more money so I didn't have to say no because of simply how much money is available. So I was really thinking again of just shifting and pivoting to a total different business. But then I thought, what if I can have a new way of doing e-commerce, right? At this point, I knew how to build websites. I knew how to get visitors to visit me. But what if I can switch this to a new method of e-commerce that allows me to set my own hours and work from anywhere, and that allows me to experience anything I want without ever having to worry about money? And this is where the new way came in, guys. I had my same goal, $30,000 a month of target monthly income. I thought, if I could sell products for $10, why can I not sell products for $1,000? If I get the same profit margin at 30% and I make $300 per sale rather than just 3, well, now I only have to sell 100 products a month. That's like 3 sales a day. It's super easy. Customer service drops to almost nothing. Hours actually involved in running the business drop to almost nothing. And this can work for me. All I had to figure out is what products could I get that would fit this method. And that is where my journey took me. So I went online, I did research, the same research I'm going to show you how to do in this presentation, and I created this new way. Selling more expensive products and earning real money for every new order that came in. Offering customers better support by focusing on them rather than just order volume, and by working with suppliers who ship products directly to my customers. When I switched to this new way, our first year in business, we did $640,000 in sales. The second year, we did $1.2 million. The third year, we did $1.8 million, and we've only grown from there. The new way not only allows me to make more money and blow past my target monthly income, it also allows me more experiences. So these are some photos. One is with my son out in Italy last summer. One of them is with my buddy Johnny out on a beach in Thailand. The one in the middle is me, my wife, my mother, and my sister. This was before we had our son, but I was able to take my whole family on a trip to Italy. We went to Rome, we went to Cinque Terre, we went to Venice, we went to Florence, and guess what? We didn't have to say no to anything. All of the experiences we wanted to have, we were able to do because I've built this business. On the top right, there's a photo of me with my wife and an elephant up in northern Thailand in Chiang Mai. A photo of me flipping into the water down in the beaches of Southeast Asia. The bottom right is me and my mom on a motorbike in Vietnam where I was showing her around. Got a photo of my wedding in the middle out in Asia, and then a photo in Bali just at a traditional show that we were able to experience too. Again, I'm not showing you these things to brag or be like, look how cool I am traveling. This is because knowing what you want makes decisions so much easier in life and business. And I knew back 10 years ago when I was selling cookies and overworked that this is the lifestyle I wanted, and through the business model I'm sharing with you today, I've been able to create this, and that is what I want for you. Decide what you want out of business, follow what I teach, and get your ideal life. So I'm curious, because I know we have a bunch of different people on this call right now from all over the world, and I did post a survey after you registered for this webinar, but But out of the people that are actually here right now, I want to know how many people actually already own a dropshipping store. And you'll see a poll pop up in the sidebar, and it'll just ask this question, and you can click yes or no. So just go ahead and select your answer if you currently own a dropshipping store. And the reason I want to know is because it's going to help me to better custom tailor this presentation to best suit you for being on here and for actually showing up. So please just take a minute, look for that poll on the side of the screen in the sidebar, and select your answer. And what I'll do once we get about 90% of people voting is I will share the results. So we're almost there, and okay, cool. Let me share this. And you can see here we have 21% of people said they already own a store, and 79% of people don't. So if you don't, you're definitely in the majority, but that is good to know that some people here are already doing this. And no worries, again, I'm going to definitely be making sure I'm speaking to people that are just getting started. But even if you're already in business, you'll be able to get some tips that can definitely make your store more profitable. Let me go ahead and do one more poll before we move forward, because I want to know specifically, again, for everybody here right now, what challenges you have faced with drop shipping. So again, I'll put up a poll on the sidebar, and you can select the option for any challenges you faced if you're currently running a store, or if you've even thought about it in the past and ran into any obstacles. So the options there, first is finding profitable products. It's pretty self-explanatory, right? The next one is getting approved with quality suppliers, and what that means is getting actually authorized to sell for legitimate brands. The next is building a website, and that would be if you had any like technical issues while you tried to use Shopify or any other e-commerce platform. And then getting traffic is obviously getting visitors to your site. And then you'll see the last option I put is becoming profitable. And what I mean by that is, have you ever like built a store or tried to do this and got sales but not had any actual profit left in the bank? And you know, I laugh, but you hear this story far too often. You see all these people online posting these screenshots of like big sales numbers, but I know for a lot of them, they don't have any money in the bank because there's just no profit there at the end of the day. So if you faced that, don't feel bad. Just go ahead and select it, because again, the more I know, the more answers you give me right now, the better I can serve you on this webinar. And let's see. Okay, we have again just over 90% of people voted. So let me share the results here. And you can see about 50%, or 50% exactly, said finding profitable products. It was followed by 15% getting approved with suppliers, 14% getting traffic, and 12% becoming profitable. Okay, cool. Thank you for sharing that again. That's going to help me better help you as we move forward throughout this presentation. So the way that we make this all work is through a variation of a business model called dropshipping. So I'm curious, do you know what dropshipping is? And if you do, just say yes in the chat box. And if you don't, just feel free to say no. But I want to answer this question, you know, what is it and can you actually make money with it? So it's a very, very simple business model from a 30,000 foot view. So I made this quick little diagram, but basically the way it works is a customer will go to your website and they'll order from you. When they order from your website, you receive the money directly from them. Once you receive the money, you go ahead and order the same exact item from one of your suppliers that you have a relationship with. I'll show you how to build those relationships as well. And once you do that, you'll be paying wholesale cost, and that supplier will ship the product direct to your customer. So you never see the product, you never touch the product. You simply are responsible for building a great website, getting great traffic to your website, and taking care of your customers. And to answer the question, can you make real money with this? The answer is absolutely. I have been for over a decade now, and many of our students have been since I started Dropship Lifestyle way back in 2013. So yes, it's definitely possible. But I will just say that there are right ways to do dropshipping and there are wrong ways. So the way that we do it, we do not sell products from China. We don't dropship from China. We don't dropship on Amazon or eBay or anything like that. Instead, we work with domestic brands that make quality products. So for us, our suppliers in the US, we have members that have suppliers in Canada, in Australia, in the UK. So this works anywhere in the world. But again, the right way to do it is by following my system and by working with domestic suppliers. So this is all pretty simple so far, right, guys? And that's the point. I just want to make sure we're all on the same page as a baseline. And if you're getting this, just give me a letter S for simple. Type letter S into that chat box so I can make sure everybody's still here, we're all on the same page, and we can keep moving forward. And let's see, I'm seeing S's come in. Good. So let's go ahead and get into it, guys, and talk about the main things I'm going to be sharing with you on this presentation. And they are what I am calling the 3 secrets. These are the 3 things that I wish I knew when I first got started. These are the things that would have got me extremely profitable much faster, and they're here to help you. Okay, so secret number 1 is product selection. What I'm going to share with you here is how to locate thousands of profitable products to sell online and know how much money you can earn from them before doing any work at all. So who's excited about that? If you're excited about secret number 1, let me know in the chat box. Give me a number 1 if you want to learn this. All right, I see ones. Good, good, good. Secret number 2 then, what we're going to get into is what I call the best suppliers. I'm going to show you who they are, how to find them, and how to get approved with them. And what you're really going to learn here is how to build a brand that provides real value to your customers and to your bank account, okay? If you're excited about secret number 2, let me get a 2 in the chat box. All right, and then finally, we're going to get into secret number 3, which is what I call my number 1 traffic source. This is by far my most profitable traffic source. I'm going to be sharing it with you. Specifically, I'm going to show you how to get people who are searching for your products to find you and to buy from you instead of your competitors. So let me know, guys, 1, 2, and 3. What are you most excited about? Send the numbers right over in chat. And good, this is what I love to see. You guys are excited, I am too. So let's go ahead and jump right into secret number 1. Again, product selection, how to locate thousands of profitable products to sell online, and know how much money you can earn from them before doing any work. Okay, so the first thing you guys need to understand to make this work is something that I also got from Tim Ferriss, who's the author of that book, The 4-Hour Workweek. And he says, reinventing the wheel is expensive. Become an astute observer of what is already working and adapt it. And this is so clutch, especially when you're getting into product selection. You don't want to go out there and try to sell something that you just think might be a good idea. Instead, you want to find products that are already proven to sell well, that people are making money with, and then what you want to do is adapt the way that you're selling it to make it unique and to make it yours. That is how people will choose you. And it's funny, I also learned this lesson from my uncle when I was young. Again, my rich dad, poor dad scenario. And his business is not related to mine in the slightest. He actually runs a service company where they install things like air conditioners and heaters, but for skyscrapers in Manhattan that have, dozens of floors on them, so not related at all. But I remember when I was young, he told me that he was pivoting his business, and instead of just doing the heating and cooling on these skyscrapers, he was now offering all these other services, and I'd be, guessing if I made up the terms he was giving me because it's like a foreign language to me, but he said the reason that he was getting into all these new areas is because it's what his customers were actually asking him for. These building managers and building owners were saying, oh, can you do X, Y, and Z? And he didn't know how to do X, Y, or Z, but he said, yeah, of course I could do that. And I said to him, weren't you nervous? You're telling people that you're going to perform these services that you don't understand yet. And he said, I'm not nervous at all because I realize this is what my market wants. And I know that if I promise them I'm going to do something, I'm going to figure it out, and I'm going to do a better job than my competitors, and I'm going to deliver on my word. And I thought, wow, how cool is that? Because it's something that to me is scary, and it still is, and it probably is to you too. When you try something that you know is working, but you know it's working for someone else, and you try to, step into this, and you know that you are brand new, well, why should someone choose you? Why should you be the person to step in? And what I got from this quote and what I got from the lesson from my uncle back in the day is that if you are the type of person that really does what they say they're going to do, and if you believe that you will figure things out, then who else is going to do it? That's how your competitors got there. That's how your future competitors got there. They didn't know everything when they started, but they figured it out along the way, and that's exactly what I do and what I expect you to do if you really want to be successful with this business model. Now, another quote that is just like so on the money for what we're talking about here is, if we listened to our intellect, we'd never have a love affair, we'd never have a friendship, we'd never go into business because we'd be too cynical. Well, that's nonsense. You've got to jump off cliffs all the time and build your wings on the way down. And I'm guessing you can relate to this. I know there's been plenty of times in my life where I've been too cynical to take different opportunities. One of them was when I was 16. One of my best friends was caddying at a golf course on Long Island. Now, this is a private golf club for the ultra wealthy. Members' fees were over $100,000 a year, but I knew he was making $120 every time he caddied for a 3.5-hour round of golf. And he said to me, Anton, I can get you a job here if you want one. And I originally was like, no way. Like, I don't even know anything about golf. I know these people are spending good money. They want an expert. And he said to me, he's like, listen, just try it. If it works, great. If you find that, you're not good at it, then you don't have to do it again. And my first day on the golf course, I got so lucky because the member that I was a caddy for, told me on the first tee, when he was about to hit his first ball, he said, hey, Anton, listen, I'm going to ask you for advice as we play. If there's anything you don't have the answer for, I just want you to say, I don't know. Don't make it up. Don't say, oh, you should putt this way or you should hit the ball that way. Just tell me if you don't know, and I'll figure it out. And I thought, wow, what a good lesson. Because at first, I was putting it all on me. I was being so cynical that I'm not the expert. Yeah. Why is anyone ever going to tip me? Aren't the members going to be so upset? And instead, I just got this very simple lesson that if you don't know the answer, don't give the answer, or you say, I don't know, and you figure it out. And what did I do? I asked the other caddy that was on the course with me what the answer was. I got the answer, I gave it to the member, and the member tipped me $120. And from then on, I built and built and built and made more money than I ever thought imaginable for spending my Saturday and Sunday mornings walking around the golf course carrying a bag of clubs. So the key here, guys, is don't be afraid. You will figure things out as you go. And if you're scared, just know that you can figure things out. You can tell people, that's a great question, let me get the answer, and you'll build your skills over time, just like everybody else that's already successful is already doing or has done. So hopefully that can help you to break outside of your comfort zone a little bit and step into something new, knowing that it will turn into something that you'll become an expert in over time. But with that, the question is, well, how do I even get these product ideas? Well, the first thing you have to do is start looking for opportunity everywhere. You're not going to get rich by finding some magic list online and having one idea that makes you $1 million. That's not how this works. You need to start by seeing opportunity in your day-to-day life. So for example, take this photo on the left of a fancy living room. In this one photo alone, there's so much opportunity for products you could sell. So for example, we have this sofa right here. We also have these lamps. We have coffee tables. We have wall sconces, I think they're called. We have crown molding. We have a chandelier, a bookcase. We have a mirror, we have a fireplace, a dining table and dining chairs, even the wood flooring, and even the wallpaper, okay? Everywhere you look, there is opportunity, and I promise you there are multiple people making money with all of these different types of products, and again, there's no reason why you can't be one of those people. The other example I'll give you of just looking for opportunity everywhere, in the photo in the right, this is Washington Square Park in Manhattan, and I was living there with my wife and my son last summer. We subletted a place for 2 months right on the park. It was an amazing experience, gorgeous, but I was thinking of new product ideas for myself to build new e-commerce stores, and I was sitting on a park bench, actually right over here in Washington Square Park. And I thought, I wonder if I could drop ship park benches. So I went online, I did my research, the research I'm about to show you, and it turns out, guess what? That's a great niche. So there is opportunity everywhere, and maybe where you're sitting right now will be the product that becomes your future store. Now, the second thing that's extremely important to know here is that you do not work with middlemen or resellers because you cannot make money doing so. So, for example, drop shipping from Amazon and trying to find products there and suppliers there. dropshipping on eBay and looking for suppliers there, or going on Google and searching for something like dropship suppliers, all of the companies you find there that you're thinking about dropshipping for will lead to failure. It is not a real business. It's a way to maybe make some short-term profit, but it's not worth your time. Remember, everything we do when we're building businesses is designed to have the smallest amount of input that gets the biggest amount of output or results, and the way that you get that is never, never, ever by working with middlemen or resellers. Now, another huge tip I can give you for step 3 here is when you're getting suppliers that you work with that are actually making the products you'll be selling, you want to make sure they always have MAP policies. Now, MAP stands for minimum advertised price. And to show you what this looks like, I went onto Google and I searched for a product, this wine cooler right here, and you'll see that in the search results, I could find 4 different online stores that were selling this product. And if you look where it says item price, they're all exactly the same. So this wine cooler from the 4 different websites it's being sold on is $2,089. Now, that is not by chance. That's because the supplier that makes this said, hey everybody, if you want to sell this product, you cannot list it for less than $2,089. And the reason this is so important and the reason this is necessary is because when you work with suppliers that have these price policies, you're not racing to the bottom in terms of your profit margins. In fact, we often maintain a 30% profit margin. That's true net profit. And the reason we can do that is because we're not in price competition. And if you work with suppliers that have minimum advertised price policies, you will not be either. That is how your profit margins are locked in. And I know that's a common question and concern, right? Like, how do I know how to price products? How do I actually know I'm making money when I make sales? And this is the answer, guys. It's through MAP, minimum advertised price policies. So does that make sense to everybody? If it does, give me a map in the comment box. Just type in MAP. Make sure we're still on the same page here. All right, cool. We got a bunch of maps coming in. Good. So let's move right on and go into step 4. And this is to sell for brands that people are actively searching for. This is a huge key to our success. We're not just randomly picking products or, in this example, trying to make our own wine refrigerator. Instead, what we're looking to do is find the wine refrigerators that people are already buying. Remember, we're not reinventing the wheel here. And then we're selling for those same suppliers. We're getting approved to be authorized retailers from them. So I have this quick demo here, and I'll show you exactly how we find those brands that people are searching for. So all I did here was go to Google, and then I typed in the keyword wine refrigerator because I wanted to research that. And then all I did was, here, I'll click play so you can see, I went to the tab called shopping. This is 4 tabs over from the left, and by default, it sorts by the most popular wine refrigerators. And as you can see, as I scroll through this list here, the brand names are in the product names. So there's EdgeStar, there's Eurocave, there's Calamera, I don't even know how to say most of them, but you'll see here that what I'm getting is the products and, more importantly, the brands that people are searching for. And the way that I know they're searching for them is because they are most popular. Now, these are the brands that we want to sell for. Because remember, we're not private labeling products. We're not trying to go to China and make our own wine refrigerator. We're simply selling what people are already buying. We're modeling what works. We're not reinventing the wheel. Important too, just to show you that this doesn't only work for me, this works for a ton of our members, again, all over the world. This is Chris, who is in Australia, and here you can see he posted a screenshot in one day, 5 orders for $13,350. This is a fan who posted celebrating his first 6-figure month. He did $108,460 in sales with only 84 orders coming into his store. And I love this post too. This is from Iria, and she got one sale while she was asleep for $5,720. And again, I'm not showing you these things to brag. I just want you to know that when you pick the right type of product that people are already searching for, and when you combine that with the way that we build websites and the way that we find traffic, it is not uncommon to get results very quickly. Now, I also want to show you a really quick video just to share one of our student stories with you. It's like 2 minutes long, but it's super inspirational, and it just shows what's possible with this type of product selection. So I'm going to play that video right now, and then I'm going to come back, and we're going to get deep into product selection.
Since I started dropship lifestyle, my life changed a lot to the better. I love the coursework because it gave me structure. It was easy to follow. It was exactly step-by-step step you take first and the next one and the next one. It was challenging, but I was so excited to learn it that I love it. So I started my first store in the end of 2014. It was right before Christmas. It was a good time to launch because a lot of people are shopping now. Made my first sale probably within less than 2 weeks of launch. And I remember when I was at the gym and I got this text message notification that I got a sale on Shopify. I was ecstatic. It was an awesome supplemental income. And then I managed to quit my job and replace my income with the dropshipping income. It changed pretty dramatically. We paid off debt. That was the first and the biggest goal. Now when I'm dropshipping full time, I'm like my own boss, so I don't have to be on anybody's schedule or to do whatever I want throughout the day. And usually I work out in the mornings. I can go for walks anytime I want. So grateful I can work from anywhere now. I don't have to go to the office, clock in and out. I can work anytime, anywhere. I get to make dinner with my husband thanks to Dropship Lifestyle.
Within a year's time, she was able to leave her old job. She supplemented her income and eventually started making more than she ever made at her previous job. She made a believer out of me with the Dropship Lifestyle.
Another great perk is that we travel a lot, so we hardly ever spend more than a month in Indiana. I can work from anywhere I want.
So we've been able to go to Hawaii. We went to Orlando. We'll be snowboarding down the mountain, and she'll be making sales while we're having fun.
So we travel without losing income. That's great. So I can visit my family in Russia. I can live my life on my own schedule and make money at the same time. Overall, the dropship lifestyle helped to change my life, and I'm much happier now.
So what do you guys think? That's pretty cool, right? If that was motivating to you, give me the letter M in the chat box. Give me an M for motivated. Okay, cool, good. That's what I want, because listen, even though what we do is build businesses, a big part of Dropship Lifestyle is the community, and I don't want anybody to think that they have to do any of this alone. Like I mentioned earlier, I almost got lucky in the sense that I have an uncle that's successful, so I had that kind of at least semi-mentorship for the once or twice a year I see him, but I don't want anybody to feel like they have no one around them to support them. So a big thing that we also do with the community are yearly meetups. We actually call them retreats, and we've been doing them since way back in 2014. So the first one was in Chiang Mai in Thailand. That's a photo from some of the members out there. In 2015, we were down in Krabi in Thailand, like at all the gorgeous beaches you see on TV and on all the travel blogs and Instagram pages. Then in 2016, we went to Hawaii, brought everybody out there. 2017, we were down in Playa del Carmen, Mexico. Just an awesome time, networking, learning from the community. Then in 2018, we were in Bali. That was actually out at the monkey forest from that photo I showed you earlier. And in 2019, we were in Prague, so switched up and went to Europe. And this year, in September, we're actually going to Portugal for our 7th annual retreat out in Lisbon. So hopefully, if you get value from this and you want to be a part of this community, hopefully you'll decide to join us out there. It's going to be an amazing time with about 100 Dropship Lifestyle members, just networking, learning, supporting each other, and building real results in person. So let's go ahead and answer the main question that's probably on everyone's mind right now, which is, where can I find good products, and how do I know how much money they are making? The first thing that I want you to do is create what I call a product research master list. Now, I do this on Google Sheets, which is free to use, but you can also create this with a pen and paper if that's what you like, then it doesn't hurt at all. If you look at the screen right now, you'll see how I label mine, and these are the columns that I track for every niche that I'm researching. So it starts with product idea, then I track the average price, I then track the average profit, and then I get deeper into my research. But this is what it looks like if you want to take a photo of this with your phone, you want to write it down. These are the things that you're going to want to be tracking as you're doing product research. So step 2 is adding those product ideas to your master list, and a couple ways you could do this outside of just looking for opportunity everywhere. The first is visit a website called Wayfair.com. This is a website that works almost 100% on the dropship business model, except they don't build niche-specific stores. They sell kind of everything under the sun, but it's a great place to find those high-level product ideas. And if you go to the website, all you have to do is hover over the different categories and you'll see the subcategories. So for example here in the furniture section, you'll see we have sofas, sectionals, love seats, living room sets, TV stands, coffee tables, end tables, chairs and recliners, futons and sleepers. We have ottomans, cabinets, console tables, accent chairs, right? It goes on and on and on. Like there's hall trees, coat racks, storage benches, pool tables, beanbag chairs, gaming chairs. So there's no lack of ideas. Again, Wayfair.com, they're a $1 billion company and mostly drop ship. So great place for ideas to add to your list. And another place to get even more ideas is just go to eBay and then go to their all category section. And they have thousands of different potential product ideas there as well. Now, remember, I'm not saying you should ever drop ship on or from eBay, but for those ideas and for products to add to your list, it's a great place to get your brain moving in the right direction. Now, of course, at the end of this presentation, you're also going to get my 237 profitable product ideas, and this is just full of ideas that have already been vetted, so you can add every single one of them to your list to make things really easy on yourself. And remember, we're just taking all of these ideas and we're adding them to that first column in our master list for research. And after we have this list filled out of product ideas, we're gonna move right into step 3, which is researching price points and profits. So what we do here is very simple. Again, all free tools. We're simply gonna go to google.com and we're gonna type in the product idea. So we'll keep moving forward with the wine refrigerator example. Just go to google.com, type that in, and then as you see on the right of the screen here, when you go to the search results page, you want to click shopping, where it says shopping, and then what you're looking at are the average price points. So you're going to look at the results on the first page, and you're going to add them up and divide it by however many there are. So in this example, I added up these 4 product prices, divided that by 4, and that gave me an average price of $1,334. Now remember, when you do this the right way, when you're using the Dropship Lifestyle system, your goal should be a 30% net profit margin. So I know for this example, that if the average price of the most popular wine refrigerators, which is true because that's what Google tells me, is $1,334, all I have to do is take 30% of that and put that into my average profit. So in this scenario, it's $400. So what we do here is take this information and we transfer it on to our master list. So first idea, product idea, wine refrigerator, average price, $1,334, average profit, $400. So what you want to do here is go down your list of all your product ideas, search for them in Google Shopping, get the average price and get the average profit, and it'll give you a very clear picture of how much money could be made from each of your product ideas. And my advice in the beginning is go with the ones that will make you the most amount of money per sale, because remember, if I stuck with my cookie store where I was making $3 on average per order, I would never live the life I live now. The only way it was made possible was by shifting to this mindset and going towards those more expensive products where there was actually real money to be made every time I made a sale. So just picture, if you did it this way, even if you made one sale every 2 days, you're making still an extra $200 a day net profit, like an extra $200 in your bank for processing one order every 2 days. So I hope this illustrates how clear it is and why you should be doing this before you build a store. Remember, you want to build a business that suits your lifestyle, and this is how we research price points and potential profits to know what we're getting into before we do any work. Now, step 4 of this process is to locate what I call real suppliers, and these are the ones that you can actually make money with. Now, the way you do this is also very simple. You go to google.com and you type in your product idea again. So as you can see on the left, I went to Google and I typed in wine refrigerators. Now what I'm looking at is all of the results, the main results page. And if you see all those arrows on the left, there are different ads and websites that come up for this keyword. So what I do, and what I recommend you do, is open all of the websites that come up when you search for your product. Now, you'll see on the right of the screen, one of the websites I have opened is called Wine Cooler Direct. When you go to different websites like this, you want to look for a section that says brands. So you'll see that arrow on the right is pointing to brands. When I went to that website, I clicked that button and it brought me to the page you're looking at right now on the screen. Now, this is a list of all of the brands that Wine Cooler Direct is selling for, and these are the brands, aka suppliers, that I would get approved with if I was selling wine coolers or wine refrigerators. And you should be doing the same exact thing. The way you find real suppliers, again, the ones you can make real money with, is by going to your competitors, seeing what brands they sell for, and then getting approved to sell for those same brands. Because remember, these are the ones that people are already searching for. Does that make sense to everybody? Let me know in the chat box if this makes sense, and if this finally provides clarity and shows you how you should not use supplier directories, and you shouldn't just pick random brands out of a hat, but instead go to your top competitors, the ones that are already in Google, see who they're selling for, and contact those same companies. And good, it looks like it makes sense. That's what I like to see. All right, guys, so that was secret number 1, product selection, how to locate thousands of profitable products to sell online, and know how much money you can earn from them before doing any work. Let's keep moving right along now and get into secret number 2, which is how to build a brand that provides real value to your customers and to your bank account. So let me ask you, before we move forward, let me know in the chat box, what do you think is the key to long-term success in business? And go ahead and just type it in. Let me know what you
Returning
think.
customers,
Again,
bitch.
what is the
I
key?
don't know,
You have
fool.
to pick one thing to long-term success in business. And let's see, I see somebody said products, somebody said niches,
Return.
somebody said traffic.
I already
Those
said
are
it.
important, but they're not number one. Okay, again, this is sustained. This isn't building a business that, takes off for a month. This is building a business that can generate wealth over years and decades. And okay, I see what I'm going for. Somebody said customer satisfaction. Yeah, I phrased it a little bit different, but in my opinion, guys, what I've learned over the past decade plus in business, the key to staying in business and growing
returning
over time
customers, dumbass.
is having happy customers. We're not building burner stores here. We're not just throwing something up and hoping it works for a year. We are trying to build something that, again, provides real value to our customers. So we want to hear from them after they order, and we want them to tell their friends about us, and we want them to keep coming back. And one of the easiest ways to mess this up is by not delivering on what you promise, which, again, should make sense, right? It should be like business 101, but people mess this up. So let's talk about how we can make sure we do work with those best suppliers that deliver the best products to our customers. So I put together this little diagram with our little emoji lady here, and let's just say she goes online, she visits our Shopify store.
What the fuck,
which,
Mom?
of course, is the platform we build all our stores
Hey,
on.
can I have a lighter now?
And, I'll actually show you some of them in a minute so you can see what they look like. But she goes to our store, she places the order, and from there, since we're drop shipping, we have to get her the product. And we have a few different options, a few different ways we could do this. One of them is we can go find that product on Amazon for a lower price, or hopefully a lower price, and we can have it shipped to her. Another option is we can use an app that connects to Shopify that's called Oberlo and have suppliers there fulfill the order. And another option is we can find domestic suppliers that can go ahead and ship the item to the customer. So what I want to talk about now are all 3 of these options and how they work and kind of the issues with each of them, because nothing is perfect in life and nothing is perfect in business. So let's start at the top. We'll start with Amazon. So how does this business model work, dropshipping from Amazon? Well, pretty simple. The customer, the buyer, will order on yourstore.com. So whatever you make your website, customer goes there, they see the item, they add it to the cart, they enter their credit card number or debit card number, you get the money. They order from you. The next thing that you would do here is find the product for cheaper on Amazon. Once you do that, you're going to go ahead and order it from Amazon. You're just going to put the shipping address as your customer's address. After that, Amazon is going to ship that product directly to your customer. Again, this is technically drop shipping. And the way that you make money is you're going to keep the difference from the price you sold it for and the price you bought it for. So that's your profit right there. Now, this business model is known as the arbitrage model because you're trying to find these price discrepancies and you're working on the arbitrage between the price you can find it for and the price you can sell for. Now here I'm using Amazon as the example, but other examples of arbitrage would also be trying to find the product for cheaper on eBay or any other marketplace like that. But let's talk about some of the issues with dropshipping from a site like Amazon. Well, the first one, which is big, is that it's not sustainable
Yep.
because there's no consistent selling products. Now, a lot of people do use this business model, and some of them make money with it.
Dinner?
But the thing about it, the first thing, we'll talk about a few things, but the first is that you don't have a real relationship with the company that you're selling for. You're simply always trying to find these products. And what happens if the person you're buying from on Amazon or Amazon themselves runs out of stock? What happens if the prices suddenly change and now you sold a product for $200 where it's now $300 on Amazon, right? There's no way for you to control that because there's no relationship. This arbitrage is basically you or whoever's using this model trying to game the system, and because of that, it is not sustainable. Now, the second problem with this model is that there's too much manual work involved for small profits. Remember, with everything we do in business, we're trying to get the biggest result, the biggest output for the smallest amount of input. And when you're running on the arbitrage model, every time you place an order on Amazon, you have to make sure you're private messaging the sellers saying, hey, please don't include a invoice or please don't include a packing slip. You don't want them to include any information because then your customer would know it's not coming from you. So you have to manually do this every time, and it's super time consuming for not making much money for every order. Now, another big problem with this model is that there's no barrier to entry, and even if you got past the first 2 points, let's just say you found an opportunity where there was a product on Amazon that was $100 and you were able to sell it for $200. Okay, great, you're doing that, you're making money. Well, there's nothing stopping somebody else from saying, oh, I could sell this product for $150, undercut you, and still make money. And then somebody else can step up and say, oh, I'll sell it for $120.